Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Kellye Robertson, and my job here is the production manager at the Good Robot home sale facility.
What does a production manager do?
What does a production manager do? Well, many hats, lots of things kind of fall under my role. It's everything from scheduling production, both fermentation side and non-fermented side, ordering raw materials, making sure we have everything we need on a daily, weekly basis, setting schedules for brew team and cellar staff, and training, lots of training. There's lots of different pieces of equipment back there. So managing all that and keeping everybody up to par with their knowledge and what's going on in the facility. Um, Advocate for learning, just constantly putting new things out there and communicating with staff and making sure everybody knows what's going on.
Perfect. Uh, we're Good Robot. What is Good Robot?
Good Robot is it's a lot of things. And I feel like it's a place that's continually growing and it's adding on to its identity as well. The obvious things is that we're a brewery. It's a place where people come together in a community. It's done that for both Elmsdale. It's done that in HRM, multiple locations now as well. Um, it's a place for everybody. It's uh, I've worked in a lot of breweries over the years, and I feel like it's the first time I've had a lot of different personalities in one place. There's multiple women that work in the brewery side, which is fantastic. Just a lot of different people from different parts of Canada. Like it's exciting. It's nice to have just a really fun diversity of individuals that are all in one place.
Um, that's really interesting. Let's continue on with that role. But can you expand on how you feel? What makes Good Robot distinct, or what makes this facility distinct?
There's, well, as you know, we have a fairly large portfolio of products that's growing, growing annually now. So we do everything from beer to cider to uh, mixed RTD style beverages. We don't. We also do our own stuff in addition to co-packing stuff. So we're really the first kind of large scale co-packing facility in Atlantic Canada that's really doubled down and made this our business. And we want to be a part of not only, I guess, the brewing community. We obviously have been part of that for a long time and support it and want to be there for other producers that are our friends and our neighbors. But we do other stuff too. We do non-alcoholic stuff, coffee stuff, cocktail stuff. So we're just here to kind of help grow Good Robot, but also grow others in the food and beverage community that's in Atlantic Canada.
Could you um could you explain to me what?
So co-packing is, in basic terms, is when another producer wants to bring a product, whether it be something that they're growing or maybe it's a new product that's not even on the market, that they will bring that idea to us or that product to us, and we'll uh, basically do everything that we can to replicate that product if it's something that's already out there. And if it's brand new, then we'll bring that idea to fruition and make it happen.
Does anyone else in Atlantic Canada do co-packing?
There's a few facilities that have it as part of their business, but it's not as prominent as what Good Robot does and how much production that we have in our facility is dedicated to co-packing.
What did I say I was going to ask next? Oh yeah. Why was this facility built? Like, why did you buy this building? So,
So the facility was built on the premise of a few things. So obviously, Good Robot wanted to grow itself and its brand, and they had done that previously by getting the smaller canning line at the other facility so they could get into the NSLC, and that was kind of like their first little like shoe in the door to try and and get a product going and a listing going, and that it just kind of grew from there. So um, to be able to have other listings within the NSLC and to grow across the province, which in then turned to growing outside the province, needed a bigger facility, needed to be able to make more beer, which is great.
So why Helmsdale?
Elmsdale didn't really have a beer community yet. It's a great community as a whole. I live here, like 3 minutes down the road, and there's not many little pockets left in Nova Scotia where there isn't a brewery, like kind of within your grasp. And for here, it was like either go the whole way into the city or go the whole way to Truro, and now people can just be right here. They don't have to, they can still by all means travel around. And I always encourage people to see as many breweries as they can. But yeah, it's a very growing community, as a lot of communities are outside of HRM right now. And it feels really great to be able to provide some beer and some camaraderie to this community.
So do you feel like the community has embraced you?
Oh, 100%. Last summer when we had the beer garden, we were a little bit delayed, but it was just like every time I lived beside a coffee shop and they would just be like, is the beer garden open? Is the beer garden open? And people totally embraced it. I'll admit, there's not a lot of places to go to on Elmsdale. So I think people to have that option to, yeah, come chill out in the beer garden, drink some beers, get some vitamin D on the days that it's not raining, and bring their dogs, bring their family, bring their cats, whatever. Was just a really nice outdoor space for people to come hang out and meet other people in the community, talk to Good Robot staff, and yeah, have some beers.
Cool. Okay, now the technical stuff. Can you tell me about the mash filter?
So the mash filter, yeah, we always get a lot of questions about that one. To my knowledge, we are one of two in Canada at our size to have such piece of equipment. It's commonly seen in much larger facilities like the big beer places. That's where this idea kind of adapted, and then they decided to actually make some for craft size volume, which is just to us meaning like regional size breweries. But basically what it does is we can achieve getting much higher efficiencies out of our raw material than we would with a traditional mash tun, lauter tun setup. It's awesome. We basically just take the malt, almost make it to like a coffee ground consistency, and basically that just opens that all up so we can get as much sugar and starch conversion out of that. And where we would traditionally see like 75 to 80% extract efficiency in the traditional mash lauter, mash filter is more in the 90 to 95%. And fun fact, also, it kind of there's a term that brewers will throw around called a stuck mash, and it's where if there's a lot of grain material that has very high protein, so your wheats, rye, anything that's non-barley, really high protein, and stuck mash meaning literally does that. Sticks your mash, you don't get any liquid through it. We basically don't have that problem with mash filter. So if we wanted to do a 100% wheat beer, we've already tried 72% wheat beer. Breeze. I know that thing could just get through anything. So yeah, it gives us some more flexibility with just different products too that not a lot of brewers get the opportunity to do without a headache, we'll say. So yeah.
Are there any other pieces of equipment in the brewery that are sort of standouts?
Definitely. One of our favorites. It's called the hop egg, though it's used not for just hops. It's basically a big round stainless steel vessel. It has a propeller on the inside, so you can mix stuff in it. And what it does is it gives us the capability to do all our dry hopping when we're using it with hops. To do that in a sterile low dissolved oxygen environment. So we're not introducing any more oxygen into beer than what we have to. Uh, Oxygen, like for a lot of food products, it just makes it deteriorate faster. So any opportunity you can kind of avoid that, just get fresher beer, get more utilization out of those hops, make some tasty IPAs.